Yeah, I think they're on full-blown crisis mode right now. I think that's fairly apparent. It's a team that spent a ridiculous amount of money and lost its equilibrium. I think to a fair surprise, we didn't think that they would drop off that much, but they've definitely lost their composure. The way that they were able to control games and have such a command. So what are we, crisis mode and ready? I just throw that out all the way to the right.
You think they're full on crisis mode?
Yeah. I think if you have your worst string of results in decades and you drop off and you seemingly can't find the result, you tweak and you have the two most expensive British signing records in history and they're not getting going. I mean, it's salvageable, but I think they're nearly out of the title race, right? I don't think, again, like Jeff Shreves often says, I don't think you can win the title in October, November, December, but you can be out of it, right? And Liverpool have taken significant steps backward. I think we are all in agreement that they've regressed.
When you say crisis mode, what comes to my mind is Slot is getting worried for his job. You think that's...
I think he has a little bit of credibility in what he did last season. I mean, think about it. He's only the second manager to win a Prem for Liverpool in God knows how many years, right? But he has to kind of figure this out. And I think if they go trophyless, if they do, I said this 2 weeks ago, not even thinking that this crisis could get worse. I mean, that's really bad. And Frankfurt were a disaster. Next season is going to be huge, and I'm already thinking about next season. If you go trophyless this season, like the follow-up act to one of your worst seasons, if it is that, it is going to be massive to see how they respond.
Lahoud, sorry, Aaron. Why do you think they've done so bad? Has it been not scoring enough or letting in too many goals?
You have to look at their back line, and you have to look at their midfield, and I really look at their midfield. Their midfield looks like a sieve right now, and there's a bit of a blueprint in how to get after Liverpool.
Like a what?
Sieve?
I've never heard that.
Sieve,
it's like you can pass freely right through it.
Serie
Webster's Dictionary.
Oh, okay.
I'll send you one.
Maybe you think it's pronounced sieve?
No. I've never heard that.
It's like when you sieve flour,
but
you get all the lumps out in the flour.
When you watch Liverpool have ceased to be the Liverpool we've come to celebrate and laud. Right now, there's things that I see, and I agree with you, they've gone from cracks in the pavement to crisis mode. They don't win second balls. They don't compete whatsoever on set pieces. They're not competing anywhere near the levels. They look much more like the team since St. Patrick's Day of last season. They'd already won the Premier League, but it's a bit of a hangover from last season.
Toss a long ball out to Konate and Van Dijk and see how they deal with it, right? It's in Spanish, we don't even say sieve, we say es un flan, because you can just kind of just cut through it. And they've lost that organization defensively, and they look constantly vulnerable. Liverpool. And Slot needs to figure it out. But it's also like a player's responsibility. But moreover, I think this falls on Slot to kind of have the right formula to bring Liverpool back.
It's not just one thing with this Liverpool team. From the beginning of the season, Diogo Jota's passing has really affected a lot of these players. I also think with this core Liverpool squad that were with Diogo Jota, there's a bit of a disconnect between them and the new players that have come in. You've got big name signings, big money signings who are coming into a group that was so together. They all have gone through something. They all lost someone. And now it's all these guys who are coming in that are outsiders. Plus, they've changed their system, as you mentioned, going from a straight-up 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder who patrols in front of Van Dijk and Konate, who cleaned up everything Gravenberch last year. Now they're playing with two center midfielders side by side who both have license to get forward. And Liverpool are so vulnerable to the counter because they don't have good rest defense. A lot of those players at this point aren't really willing to sacrifice and run and cover and track like the Liverpool teams of the past have been. And Arne Slot is losing a little bit of control, I think, with the excuses that he makes, with the talking about set pieces, with talking about fixture congestion, talking about away games. The excuses are not really Liverpool-like, I think. he needs to accept more responsibility. He has an incredibly tough job. I'm not pushing past that because of the change that is coming. It's a really difficult job for a manager to manage.
I'm willing to give him a pass on the excuses and what he says outwardly.
I think
he was pretty coherent throughout the entire season last season. Never too high when they were winning, never too low in the seldom times that they lost. He was pretty sober in the way that he came across, and it seemed like a very...
Last season, yes, but I think this season it's changed. His tone has changed.
Wise. He spoke very wisely. His rhetoric always never lost his center when he spoke. And I'm willing to give him like some time to kind of correct these issues in-house, because he's not going to hang people out to dry publicly. I don't think that's his persona.
Yeah, I worry about this Liverpool side this season. I'm with you. I don't think he's going to get sacked unless they're in a relegation scrap, right? But the season is quickly running away and moving away from them. You just said that you don't see them in a title race. I don't even see them in a top 4 race if they continue in this mold right now. And that's damning, right? You can go with the players. 1 week it's Florian Wirtz, the next week it's Isak, but Arne Slot's job is to figure out how to put this together. And it's going to take time, because it does take time. But the one thing he cannot continue to do, why the hell was Andy Robinson not starting this game? Milos Kerkez is struggling right now, and you choose to put him out there. He gets his goal, right? But teams are looking at him and saying, go after Kerkez. He's a liability. And you need a bit more stability in the back. Go with someone who's been there, who brings leadership, and that's Robertson right now.
It feels like imagine those like old cartoons where the ship is sinking and there's holes all over in the hull of the ship. And the cartoon
running around trying to
patches a couple of the holes, and he's like, okay, ready. And then one hole back, and then he patches the other ones, and then the other one starts, the water starts coming in through the other holes. It just feels like that's what's going on at the moment at Liverpool, that like you kind of solve an issue, and then there's another one, and then you don't really end up finding your team.
Yeah, I'd say one of the biggest issues they have now is their upcoming fixtures. I mean, they've got Palace in the Carabao Cup, then they've got Villa, then Real Madrid, then Man City. And I think that would be a tough run for them. What do you think some short-term fixes could be for Arne Slot on this Liverpool side, Aaron?
Immediately going back to a straight-up 4-3-3 with a holding defensive midfielder in front of their center-back pairing, that would allow their fullbacks to still get into the play like they do. They would have their midfielders shuttling. Probably you need to move Szoboszlai back into the midfield. I thought he had a really, really good game. But Florian Wirtz has to sit on the bench right now because this team is so imbalanced with him in it, and he has not shown that he needs to be in the team. Right now, they got to go back to what worked.